Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in City Skylines, where last episode we began our great and grand plan of slowly fixing the city. We identified a bunch of problems, we started to put our plans in motion. We ain't gonna fix anything straight away, we're just progressing to the fix when it should all come together. Last episode we implemented a brand new industrial area quite close to SnowTown, incorporated a train line which is only dedicated for that type of industry, and today we're going to progress and look at those train lines all over again and try and fix some of the issues that we do have right now. Also create a few dedicated train lines coming in and out, just so we can export the goods a whole lot quicker, but most importantly we can import the raw resources a whole lot quicker and a whole lot more of them into SnowTown. Now, if you guys do enjoy this and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're on there and here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. But boys, we're back. Hey, how you doing? So this is what we did last episode, and it's going to take a while to grow because of the current simulation speed of the game with a city this size. But just to kind of give you a recap, we built this brand new industrial area over here. We have we have two cargo train terminals, which they all hook up via the train line here. You can see it goes underneath and end at this cargo harbour over here. And that's all passing through its own dedicated line in and out. Nobody else uses it. It's all just for these damn folios. And that enables us then to not get stuck into train jams like we currently have elsewhere. Now, I did take a look at the end of last episode, a few little bits and bobs in which I can kind of fix things. But as of right now, if I bring up the actual traffic overview, you can see my trains are train jammed all the way in, going through here. We kind of need to kind of filter them out. I did do a little bit of reworking to kind of get things all kind of, not solved, but kind of ease some of the issues and whatnot. We got rid of our little kind of connector for this little section here. But ultimately, it is a bit all over the place. And it's not, we can't really pump out any new stuff. But what I did, I played around. I'm completely lost. With this area, and I kind of just got rid of a few trains at towards the end of last episode, and it's slowly starting to make it all move, but it's not perfect. We need to do 10 times better to get this all up and running, and I think my biggest issue, my biggest offender is that I have the passenger trains and the cargo trains all on the same lines. So not to say that I'm going to build separate lines, but I just want to see, is the passenger train line, is it worth it? We have 4 vehicles, 8 stops, and only 34 passengers. Is it really worth it? The answer is no. Gonna get rid of it. Which thus then that kind of eases some of the issues. I'll leave the stations in because at some point I might revisit it and add them back in. But for now, that's going to also free up a bunch of space. Are these intercity trains or are these? Yeah, these intercity trains. It's going to free up a bunch of space right now and allow more train lines to kind of move through, but that doesn't solve the issue. So let's kind of get a feel for it. Let's understand what is exactly going on, and then we can start applying some fixes to some of these issues. So basically what I want to do is I want to create a couple of additional separate lines that come in and service a single area. And then we've also got the main line that kind of connects everything. Because my issue at the minute, every train line, except for the one we added in last episode, every train line connects to every train line. And that's not great for us. So let's take a look at the traffic situation one more time. And let's go through this one by one. So we know there is 2 train lines that come in here that go all the way down. And they connect up to pretty much all the industry right now. By looping around here. All the trains are moving. But they will soon start to slow down when the backlog gets all the way down to over here. So this train line here, when I go this way, it goes left or it goes right. Now, when it goes left into this direction, it comes down to this ore industry, which ends this line over here. Well, it doesn't really end. It kind of loops around at the train ship cargo terminal. And it also goes out of the region just here, which is perfect, brilliant, does what it needs to do. But it then does a right to then eventually go up to connect to the woodland industry, which also has its own little exit point. But this is this is my issues. It then goes this way right, through here, and that little triangle as it comes down from the ore industry in the woodland, goes that way to connect up to this side of the water. Now I'm thinking, should I get rid of the ability for them to go that way, and also maybe get rid of the ability for the train lines to go this way and connect up, and try and keep them somewhat separate, maybe? Maybe not on this side, but this side is the big one. So let me go back to the train line all over again. So it then comes up across the water over to here, ends at this kind of cargo harbour here, goes this way, scoots along, goes and then connects up to this side, which it kind of weirdly goes underneath and then connects to there. I'm thinking about getting rid of this whole little connection on this side. It does then, it will mean it will push all the train traffic this way, but we can handle that. We can solve that. So this will be my first fix to begin with. This will be my first fix. And by that, what we're going to do, because we've got to think about this smartly as well. We do have to think about it quite smartly. So that comes up to there. That is coming from this direction. So basically, right, I want to get rid of the ability for them to cross the water from this side, and we'll keep everything else in. It's a big ask, but it's going to be beneficial. And I'll tell you why in just a moment why this should work. Alright, if I get rid of all of this, it's quite the pain. It's quite difficult to see because of how low it is. There we go. We got rid of it, boys. We got rid of it. So run it all down. Now it doesn't mean that they can't transport the goods. They can still transport the goods because they can use ships to get it across. And we have all these ships going everywhere. Why not utilize them a whole lot more? Makes sense, right? So bringing this... Oh, snap. I deleted the wrong bit. Oh, I deleted more. Well, actually, that kind of makes sense. It doesn't really need to go. Come down here and go in that direction over to there. Because we have, like, harbours over there. I could make it go over to here. It's not a problem. So let's get that all back up and running. So I deleted this bit here on accident. Get it over to there. And you know what? We'll get it connected back in over here. So they could go and end over that dock there if they want to. It then throws it onto a ship. So basically, right, there's no longer a connection going to over this side over here. We still have a connection going there, and there is also a connection going here too. So basically, to get from here, the goods from there to over there, use a ship. It's just easy enough. Then it will get collected onto the next train line. Makes sense, right? So we'll try and shorten the distance here of this line. And this should be a step forward for us getting this all sorted. So where's that snap? Snap's there. And that is going to be a 52 by 50. That's almost perfect. We'll run with that. So if they do take a ship and they go over to here, throws on the train, off it goes in this direction. Now that's all good, but I want to go back to this situation right now because it also obviously crosses over here. Now, if I deleted all train tracks going across the water, and then that means they utilize the ships, I don't know how that's going to play out. We might see more vehicles on the road, which is not a problem, but it does reduce a lot of the train traffic. Now, I'll keep that middle one in just for a split second, as I now configure the rest of this. So we have the two train lines here. One goes all the way up to here, and then kind of just ends at this station platform here. Right. Gonna delete that on the... Oh, damn it. On the bend. Why you gotta be so difficult for? Why's the game gotta be so difficult when I'm trying to destroy train lines? I'm so sorry, building. I destroyed you. Right, get that rid down to here. Which, what I can do is I can connect that just for now. Actually, let me sort that road out. I will forget that road I've just destroyed. I will forget it. So let me just sort that out right now. Right, I've got an idea of how this is going to work. So, tunnel mode. That will then just simply connect to there, right? So, whereas this station, this platform here went down in that direction, right? This one is actually going to connect to this line. Now, it's a little bit difficult to do. It's a little bit hard to see as well in this kind of view. So, this line goes from all the way over here. It's all elevated. For some reason, it goes around to there and then pops up to over there. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. If I make it go underground there instead, or, you know, it came across here. I don't think it needs to do that wiggle. I think that wiggle is unnecessary. Because the other issue I got is as well is that train line that comes around here. If you want to bypass it, you have to go through the station. So you technically can't bypass that line. So again, coming in with the deletions. Right, get above ground. Right, there's a lot going on right now we kind of need to solve. Delete that to there. Delete this all the way back because we're going to get it all connected anyway. There we go. So basically, we're going to have this train line. Do I want to run it to there? Yeah, I feel like I do. But I'll elevate it here so we can match. We'll go up by 10. The alignment of what's crack-a-lacking over here, boys. So that would be a 10 by 9 by anarchy. There we go. So that goes up and over, and it's going to completely bypass this whole area. Off it goes in that direction. Does what it needs to do. Okay? So bear with me on this station, this one here, because we're going to have to create something special right now. But we also have, when I go underground, this line here, which does need to connect to somewhat over on this side as well. So let me kind of figure this one out, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this side there and there. And I think I might just delete this altogether, this station there. Because they can utilize this one a lot more. And then that can... This I'm going to now have... But that's another point. Like, that is purely to get to the other side of the water. Now, if I didn't connect it up to there, and that kind of goes to there and it ends there, then that's a separate line that ends there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, with that said... Right, let me get out of tunnel mode. That is a full 20 there. But if I go and do a 21, and then by here we go down by 10. Right, bear with me on this, because I've got an idea. It's just now trying to capitalize on the idea. 21 right there. Then in the underground tunnel mode, we're going to do a big 20 by 20. We're going to bring this from over here all... Oh, wait, what am I doing? No. I've literally just said I'm not going to do that, and I'm doing that right now. This was solely to get this over here connected. So what I'm doing is... Hold on, because it sounds ridiculous right now. Is I'm just going to create the bend. So we'll go up by 12. If I do a... If I do it from here, a 10 by 10, that becomes a 14 by 30. We'll take it like that. That allows us then to have that station go left and right. Okay. I went in for a second then. What am I doing? I'm going against everything I've just said. All right, 12 there. Bam. Okay, so basically, this line coming in right now enables us to connect directly to the airport. Perfect. Then also to this station here in the ore industry. Bypasses over, goes all the way down to a line here which connects, then gives them the ability to then ship the goods over via ship to the other side of the water. that's how it works. Like how this one ends over here. I'm trying to create endpoints is what I'm trying to do. So that does kind of mean, right, that this line here is going to be redundant. Now, if I delete it as much as I can, just kind of, well, yeah, it's all going to go. Now, whether I choose to come back and add some more stuff in the future, that is yet to be seen. But I'm going to make the decision of getting rid of all of the train connection going across the water. So we can end there. We can keep that as a passenger line, to be honest with you. Now, it does pop up over to here, which we have our cargo depot just there. Which, in fact, I don't need that bit anymore. That would toot along this way. Off it goes. But that becomes an ending point there for this side. That becomes an ending point over here for this side. And all I've got right now is then this tunnel, which I'm also going to get rid of. So basically, right, to fix it, I'm scrapping it all back to basics. Where the only way to get goods now across the water is either getting it on a train and going to the end of the route and getting it to a cargo harbour and shipping it via boat, or driving it with a vehicle over to the other side. Now that ends there, that comes in, goes around here, ends just over there, does the most weirdest bend going, which we're now going to fix. So bring this, say, down to there. The world's weirdest bend. Right, bring it down by 5. If I do a 6 by 6, 6 by 6, is that bend still classed as being really weird? Probably. Probably. It's very funky. It's very funky, but we'll go with it. It's part of the draw to this. So when you scrap it back to basics, right, we've now created, rather than having this big open network, which at times is beneficial, and we probably will eventually crawl back to being this big kind of connected network. For now, we're scrapping it back to basics. I want to see, out of all these individual routes that we've created, where does the majority of the train stuffs come from? Now, when you kind of, you know, bring it back to basics right now, and we've got the train lines. We have this station here, that station there, and this station over here. Them three are connected all on the same line, and they end here. So that becomes one line just there. We have this line coming in, which is imported from 2 areas. Comes down, goes underground here, connected to the airport there, connected to this station here, bypasses all of this, and ends over there. And that's our second line. Then we have the third line, which kind of starts here, is connecting this, that cargo station there, that one there. There's one just here, there's one there, and one there. It also connects that station here, all of the farming area, carries on all the way down here, connects up and ends just here. There's one over here. There's one just there, and ends here. So it has 2 endpoints. No, actually, it has 3 endpoints in 3 cargo harbours to ship the goods. Has multiple cargo stations to collect goods. This one has 1, 2, 3 kind of areas going out, which I'm going to add a 4th one in, going in this way, connected to here. So they can import, export goods. They can ship goods to the other side of the water right now via ships or drive it. And then our 4th one happens to be the standalone one over here. Our first standalone one that comes in, connects up to 2 stations there and that harbour over there. So that is what we've got going first. We're going to put it into play mode. It's going to change a lot of stuff, but it doesn't solve my issues just yet. Because again, when you think about it in logically, this is the area here that are crying out for your boy to import more goods. They want more raw resources. So I've got to think about ways in which I can bring in those goods, pretty much. And that they would really benefit from like having their own direct line in and out of the area. They really would. Now, for me to do something like that for these guys is quite a big ask. It is going to be quite the big ask right now. But we've got to think of how would that work? Where is the closest way for me to kind of bring a line in and outside the region? Which would be around, you know, these islands. Like if I followed the road coming in, down, maybe went over and then, you know, invest some money, make it go underground and connect up over here so they've got their own dedicated import line to bring in the raw resources. That's something that these guys are going to need over here, which is what solves or starts to solve some of the issues. Because if they have their own dedicated line to import and export the goods, this industry here is always going to be fueled. Rather than like, you know, because they could be importing some goods from like, say, over here. And it just gets caught up in a big train jam as they're trying to get the goods for the industrial area. And they eventually never get it and they start complaining. That's kind of what I'm fighting all the time. So it's going to take a while before this new kind of stuff gets fixed. It's going to take a while before we start to see any benefits. And it's going to take a while for all these trains and industries to kind of redirect themselves and pretty much understand, yo, Seniac, what have you just done right now? So that's going to take a slight little while, especially this one right now, to clear everything through. Because we don't have any despawn on, they can't just disappear on us. So they've got to play the waiting game. They've literally got to play the waiting game. So let them do what they've got to do. To begin with, and we'll look at first creating a dedicated line for these guys. So before I make it actually come in, I need to figure out where we're going to be connecting it. Now, I could do it underground, but we don't really have much play underground just here. Plus, we also have this little connection there, which is going to kind of slightly throw us off. I've got more play underground here, which can go straight across and then lead in that direction. So I'm going to choose this section here. So underneath, if I bring a line out there by 21 and then go up, I don't need to, I'm not going to make it kind of connect, like do a triangle that way, because there's no point me bringing in goods to take it to the harbour. That's not what this line is for. It's to kind of go this way to drop goods off and import raw resources to the industrial area. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to pick a point, which will be here. There we go. And then run that to there. And then here, make it go underground. So make it go underground, and it's just going to literally be the straightest lined connection you've ever seen in your life. And for some reason, it chose not to make that bit go underground. Is everything else okay? Yeah. So I know it's quite sharp in the corner there, but we don't kind of see it anyway. But it's literally to create a line to import the goods. So the reason I want it above ground here is, one, it becomes a whole lot easier to kind of visually get it connected to where we need it to go. But also it's quite cool to see trains running along. So bring that to there. Then at this point, we're going to try and... Oh, it's not like the road. You can't do what you want to them. So if you kind of like mimic the height levels in many ways, and bring that going straight to there, it all comes back down. Bring it right down to 0, and I'll just make it do this. There's nothing special going on with this. And I'll bring it up to 10 there. Round it goes. Here. Round it goes there. And then we're all connected. That's pretty much done. So simple, basic, is what it is. But that will now enable us to import goods. It will obviously export goods as well. But because I didn't do it the full triangle, it's in one direction, any trains coming in are solely on the basis that they're going to be importing goods. And that's what we want. So the train line here is still slowly creeping along. It's slowly moving. It's slowly still pumping out all the trains, doing what it needs to do. Will take a lot of time to kind of get sorted. But glorious. So, in fact, we should set it up where these guys on the old junction here give way to any trains coming in and out. Just so we can allow them to keep flowing out and not get caught in the crossfire. It ain't going to work anyway. But that is not the perfect sizing at the same time. So let me just pause this and redo this. Because that is not the perfect space. And I can't remember when I did this. Like there, 25, not good. So we'll go 20 by 21 by 21. Do that like that. That then gives us one train's length. So when one turns in, it's not going over the junction and having to wait for the other one to move. And that should do what it needs to do. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully. So, sweet then. We've got, obviously, like I said, 2 connections over here which can import and export goods as well. Right, sweet. So, it's probably going to ruin my city. I'm probably going to take like 2 steps back to begin with, as we just figure out all the new routes that we've got to do. But just let them do what they've got to do. It's all for the greater good. So it'll take a while before we start seeing trains coming in, but that's not a problem. So we'll leave this side right now then. I feel like, you know, that's good. We've got separate lines. And you could argue, but Seniac, you got separate lines. It was good when they were all connected because trains could go where they want to go. I mean, I will probably still come back and add it all as a continuous route. But for now, we're just going to try and fix it. And they can still drive the goods. So it's not the end of the world. I just want to see where my big issues do lie. And at the minute, it's trying to get all these trains pushing through. Right. They're still standing on this, and it's not good. It's then this, because of the full-on length of how many trains are coming into the airport. It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? I just need more of it going out. I mean, it's slowly moving, that's the thing. It is all slowly going. Oh, wow, that's made a huge gap here, which is going to push all this through. It's one of those things, it's like, there's an issue, but it's like, Seniac, wait. They're going to clear themselves anyway. Just hold up, boy, hold up. So leave that side for now, then, and how's it going on over here? So there's a train currently waiting to come in here, not a problem. We had a load of kerfuffle going on here. Which I like this. It looks like it's a big mess, but they're slowly, you know, taking turns. That's what they're doing right now. They're slowly taking turns to be able to get goods in. We did have a connection here, but it's now all gone. That's fine. But I feel like I need to have one that goes up in this direction and goes out there. So these guys got a closer edge of the map kind of import-export route. How is... Here, I'm just looking. There's no trains getting caught up on all of this. No trains on this, which is good to see. So a lot of trains I have a feeling are going to be using this, and a lot of vehicles as they get more planes into... You know, that's another way as well. I forgot about that. They can send planes to import and export the goods too. So then over here, it's all looking pretty free. Over here. Yeah, it's looking pretty free for the most part. Well, we got some heating issues. We always have heating issues. Heating. Geophone plate, which is one that's got the 120, this one. I'm just going to place over on this side some heating stuff in. And I'm just going to do it literally here. So if I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just for the sake I've given these guys over on this side or everything they need for heating. Which, there we go. That solves it all there. Just solve that little issue we've got. All good. So this side is doing wonders as well. I just feel like we need that additional route going out so we can import more goods over this side a little bit closer. That's what I feel anyway. But how would I get it connected to this is the real question. I can just make it come round and then do a V there as this line continues to go straight across. So it's no issue. It's no issue. Right, I'll pause it though. Leave that there. Have this go in straight as we can. And I mean, all of this is all bumpy and stuff as well, isn't it? So, do I flatten it out to a certain extent? What, to like that size maybe? Go brush size. It's all different sizes, isn't it? And create this beautiful little canyon running through. Where we can have the train line tearing through it. Which I think is quite cool. It's like the train line's got its own little canyon it tears through right now. Tooting along. Singing a song. There we go. And we'll use the little bendy tool right now. Just kind of wind it through. There we go. Keep it simple, mate. Sweet. Which means, actually, this whole section here, I'm going to have to pull it back a bit more. So, bring it down to here, which will bring it down to 0. Then we'll do a 10 by 10. 10 by 10. And then from here, 21. 21. The only thing is, the only downside is, this there is a little bit too close. So what I can do actually here is bring that to there, and then that becomes a connection cross just here. I don't know how much traffic we're going to see on that, so let it do what it's got to do. But again, having that little import-export area just there kind of benefits all these guys, because the closest one for them then on that line is over here or here. So just having it on the upper end of the route makes all the difference. So, now like I said, I can't stress enough, this is not going to solve the issues. This is just the next step in my grand plans to fix everything. It's just ticking another little job off the list of many jobs that I have to put into fruition to kind of get things rocking and rolling. So, we'll now fast forward. Then. Get the trains a moving. We're probably going to see more vehicles on the streets, which again is not a problem because one, we got the more vehicles mod installed, so we can have as many as we like. Probably going to see a lot more ships tooting around as well, which again is not a problem. We've got the more vehicles mod. So again, it's just going to take a while for them to sort themselves out. Seeing trains now coming in and out over here, which is a really, really big thing for us. So these guys can keep getting the consistent imports for the raw resources, which they're not complaining as much. So that's good. Real good. How are we doing on the old zoning? We've still got plenty of zoning to squeeze in for all the jobs right now, but I think what I'll do, I'm just going to completely cover the whole area. And then it's all done at that point then, isn't it? It's all pretty much done. Then I ain't got to worry about it. Right, there we go. It's all got water, hasn't it? Yeah. Sweet. So, just do what they've got to do. Zoning's all there. They'll slowly build upon it. Which is good enough for us. And vehicles, all the trains over here doing their thing. Everything's rocking and rolling. So, we now just got to simulate it for a bit, because I've done something so drastic, such as taking away the ability for them to transport the goods anywhere they wanted to now everyone's limited. They got to think of different ways to get the goods to where they want to go to. So that itself takes a while for the game to update to realize how it now needs to kind of work out, which until it does that, I then got to wait for all the new trains to come in and before everything pretty much gets settled. But you can see how crazy this airport is and how dominant the airport has now become and how much of an essential part of transporting the goods this airport has now become. But just give it time. It could be just the initial change of everyone panicking and wanting to kind of just get rid of the goods because now all their other routes are kind of messed up. So I can't worry just yet. Just give it time. Sweet, sweet time. Again, less and less buildings are now complaining about not enough raw resources. We're getting there, boys. It's a slowly happening right now. It's a slowly happening. So let me check out the traffic. Traffic's all fine over there. Got traffic. Traffic's really bad now. Again, you're gonna see, like I said, you're gonna see the roads littered with a lot more vehicles, which that is obviously the case because they can't transport the goods over. But what it does now set me kind of up to being able to do is having a dedicated transfer route of bringing the goods from one side of the river to the other. That's what enables me to kind of set up in the long run, which is also going to be quite exciting. It sets us up to do quite a lot of things. But again, I've got to do it in stages. I can't do everything at once because that's when I create more issues. Got to do it in stages, boy. Get it slowly, rocking, and a-rolling. Slowly, he says. Slowly. But yeah, it's all looking good anyway. So, do we have a train jam just here? Now, is that... That's because... Oh! So that's coming down to here. It's trying to get more and more cargo out via the shipping side of things, which is really interesting. So we really are utilizing ships a whole lot more. Again, we've taken away the ability for them to transport the goods via train over the water, so ships are now looking like they're becoming the next preferred method. Ooh. Very good. Very good, he says. Very good. So, this is looking pretty sweet. So what I would like to do maybe next episode then is look at doing our very own dedicated transfer facility area, which means we're going to create a dedicated area both sides of the water that houses a bunch of train lines or train terminals, cargo train terminals, which are solely not going to be connected up to any other area. It's just like, for example, say I chose this area here. Cargo train terminal station here. It then is that one single station has a direct line to, say, like over here, a cargo train terminal. Just A to B. That's all it is. A to B. Okay? A to B. A to B. You get the point of it. You kind of get the point of it. So then that's how we get, that's one way we get goods going across. And I want to create multiple stations, but I also need to make sure that, for example, let's say I placed it here, for example. It needs to have really good highway connections, so when vehicles are driving the goods to it, they can then transfer it directly over. We've got to play with a few ideas as well. We need to figure out ways in which we can transfer the goods so much easier and all that kind of jazz. But we'll get it set up. It will be good. So rather than having all the lines connected, which causes train jams for days down the road, we're going to have some, pretty much dedicated lines going directly to these areas. So it's crazy to see all the traffic coming in for the airport right now. It really is. But we'll get there. Just got to give it time to tick along. That's all we can do. Give it sweet, sweet, sweet time to tick along. But as time does tick along, we're getting more and more industrial buildings added in, which will keep producing more and more goods. And again, it's just another step forward, another item ticked off your boy's grand list of fixing things. So don't worry, this is not the fix. This is just my next stage. So stage 1 was to create more industry and create a dedicated line coming in, which is what we did last episode. Stage 2, which has been this episode, kind of sorting out the train lines, separating them all, seeing where the traffic now lies on these lines. So we know 100% that this is having the most stress on the line right now. Okay, sweet, good. Tick that off the list. Next episode, we're going to take a look at creating dedicated transfer facilities for the goods. You know, to get that all kind of passed to and from, to get goods over the water a whole lot easier without kind of impeaching and impeding the main system of all of our lines. Once you tick that off, and obviously you got to remember, as every episode goes along, we are adding in more and more industry to be producing more goods. So we just keep ticking it all off. We slowly get in there, and before you know it, all these things are going to add up to the eventual fix that we're going to implement. So we've got to take a step back. We've got to break it. We've got to cause some chaos to see where the stress is before we then move forward to slowly fixing things. But it's been actually good progress. It actually has been some pretty good progress right now that we're going to keep looking towards moving forward on. If you guys did enjoy this episode, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. But as we keep implementing these small little tweaks and changes, we're working towards something much greater. The fix, as we're going to call it. But guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode anyway. Are we starting to get trains coming down this new line? Yes, we are. Looking good. Which enables more simplistic and easy exports and imports coming down the line. Very nice. Very nice. But guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And next episode, we work towards the next step on our list towards the fix. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So good. Bye.